Hey, good morning, everybody. I was talking to my wife today, continuing a conversation we started yesterday about seat cushions on the patio and real estate. Hi, this is Don again. Most interesting man in real estate. We know seat cushions during the most recent storm that we had here in San Diego. Of course, it's 80 degrees today, but we had a lot of wind and rain, and we lost some seat cushions. And just by the fact that I'm a little careless, I leave seat cushions out all the time. They have a tendency to get the sun beaten down, even when they're supposedly sun resistant, and poof, they're gone. And you know what? They're doggone expensive. So the question is, what's the best buy, or put another way, what's the best value in patio furniture, and how does that relate to what you want to think about when you're buying a home? Well, there are lots of things that determine value for seat cushions or for a home. Today I'm going to concentrate on just three of them, just to give you an idea and maybe a couple of things that you hadn't thought about. I'm going to talk a little bit about view, the values of view. I'm going to talk a little bit about square footage. What's the value of actually having more square footage? And three, I'm going to talk a little bit about floor plan. Specifically one story versus two story. So let's start with the view. Views are completely subjective, and they're not. They're subjective to, might be pretty important to you that you have an ocean view, but what's that ocean view worth? Are you willing to spend 10,000, 20, 30 more? Well, of course, as you well know, if you buy down in Oceanside on the beach, you're going to spend millions or $1 million more just for the view. Oh, the location, of course, is part of that, but then you're right there on the ocean. And if you live where I live here in the foothills of Bonsall and Vista, we have an ocean view. The ocean's 8 miles away. I can see Catalina, 26 miles across the sea. Santa Catalinas. All right, okay. Anyway, and our view is stunning. It's a beautiful, beautiful view. What's that add to the value of my house versus the person who lives down below who doesn't have a view? Okay, so how are you going to determine whether or not a particular view is worth X, Y, or Z? And the answer to that is you just need to go see homes. You can't tell from a picture when you're searching on the web. You need to get in the car, you need to drive around, and you don't even need a realtor to do that, at least with the view portion. Now, some homes, once you come into them, the view is stunning and the house is set up so that the floor plan that we'll talk about a little bit later really adds to that. But there's no, just so you know, there's no secret amount that an ocean view is worth. It really adds up and is sort of reflected in the pricing of homes that are right around that area. Okay, number two, what's the value of extra square footage? Well, in the real estate world, we often look at a home and take the price that it's selling for or sold for and how many square feet it has and says, well, this home sold for $350 a square foot. It was a 2,000 square foot home in Carlsbad. It sold for $350 times 2,000 or $700,000. Does it mean when you're looking at square footage that you should absolutely value a home based on the square footage? And the answer to that is absolutely not. The banks and appraisals, the whole appraisal system is built around a standard set of rules and codes that indicate that on a general basis, a certain amount of square footage will be worth a certain amount. But let's talk about a couple of specific things. Did you know that a single story 2,000 square foot home will sell for 50% more per square foot than a 3,000 or 4,000 square foot home in the same area? And that's because, number one, when you build a two-story home, it actually costs less to build up. So, the value really, the actual cost to build is less. And secondly, the floor plan matters. If you want a single story, if because you have children or elderly or you just happen to like that layout, then the value of a lot of extra square footage doesn't matter. I'm going to do a whole series on appraisals in the month of June, and so come back for that. Subscribe to us here, and you'll see that when it comes along. The third item that is important in determining the value or whether or not something is a good buy is in fact what I alluded to before in square footage, and that's the floor plan. A lot of people, 3,000 square foot home with a lot of segmented rooms and offices might not appeal to you. Now it might. If you've got 6 kids and you want a lot of them to have their own space, that's cool, and that will make the value for you higher, even if for other people it doesn't seem so. Now you might find that if that's the kind of home you're looking for, if you can live with that divided up spaces, when now the open area is so very popular, that you might get a good value. A lot of people are going to price their homes, and the realtors are going to tell them, sellers, that if you've got a home that doesn't quite look the way that people are looking for today, that lower their price a little bit or their expectations. And you might find that that's a way to actually garner a pretty good value. And by the way, most walls that are in homes like that can be just taken down and larger rooms and spaces created. And you can do that over a period of time. So back to the seat cushions. For me, I want to get rid of the doggone things. I want chairs. Let's go to Costco, spend $25 on a chair that doesn't have any cushions, that looks really nice, get a couple of different colors, put them out on the deck. The time of spending $100 or so for each chair for cushion, they look great, but for me, not a good value. Now, when you're looking for a home, if you're looking for a home with your husband or wife or friend or whatever it is, just talk about these kind of things, because what you're going to find is, sort of like in our scenario, there's no value in a cushion for me because it feels just as great. We have a great view. I don't care that the cushions are cushy, if you will, and but for my wife it's different. So when you consider buying a home, value that home based on the conversation that you have as you see homes and experience them, actually go into them, and take the time that you need to establish your own value, your own best buy. Come on back and see us. Subscribe, like this, comment down below if you're a cushion lover or just a regular aluminum chair lover, whatever it is. I'd like to hear from you. So this is Don Reedy, the most interesting man in real estate. See you next week.